Hi YouTube, Kyle here with Love Reptiles. Just wanted to show you some snakes this week, kind of move away from the educational video for 1 week, just to give you guys an idea of some of the snakes that we work with here at Love Reptiles in Michigan. So we're going to start with some pied babies. Like I said in my last video, we do pied and leucistic combos as a specialty. Not necessarily mixed together, sometimes there's a few genes in there that overlap, but mostly we'll work with the piebald stuff. And then anything that reacts allelically, and we'll talk about that later, with Mojave, Lesser, Bamboo, Mystic, Russo, Special, all those different genes. So let's get into a few babies here. First one I'll show you guys is a standard pied that we hatched out this year. This one is a little boy. He's got a pretty even pattern, so something to note about pied mutations is that they do have random amounts of white and random amounts of pattern. And so this little guy here has a pretty cool variation, or I should say display of pattern and saddles, as they're called in piebalds, where they have little spots or saddles of pattern. He's really cool. Next up is a clutch mate from that other pied clutch. This is a sister to the male I just showed. She is a possible flyer, but we think she's just a really nice normal pied. She has a lot higher white, as you can see. Just one of those things that is variable in pieds. It is changing based on some of the genes that you add. So certain genes cause pieds to have more white. Certain genes cause them to show less. It is still random, but like I said, it can be influenced. So for example, the Enchi gene will usually add pattern and take away white from a pied, whereas say black pastel will typically add white in those black pastel pied animals. When those genes are combined, they usually express a very high amount of white in the animal. So she's really pretty, we like her. Right. Let's move on to a leucistic complex animal. A little shy head there. This is a Mystic Potion. Mystic Potion is a combination. Let me see if I can get her head to come out. Mystic Potion is a combination of Mystic and Mojave. I've been trying to make these for quite a few years, and I really like how they come out. They're very purplish as babies. They have a nice yellow stripe on their back, really faint yellow, and they have bright blue eyes. Let me see if I can get her to come out a little bit. Very shy. Ooh. Well, maybe not today. Hopefully you got to see enough of her. We had hatched a bunch of these this year out of a single clutch, so we're really happy with that. Next up is not really a combination that I promised, but it's a snake that we've definitely been trying to hatch for quite a few years now. This is a Pastel Spider calico, a very active one. Here we go. It's a little male, and I just really like how the calico and the spider gene interact. They really cause those sides to come up high white like that, and it's going to make for a really pretty adult. A lot of the breedings that we do here are really indicative of creating pretty adults. A lot of ball pythons, a lot of mutations, a lot of different genes dull out, change as they grow, aren't quite as vibrant and beautiful, but there are a lot of genes that do. So I'm always in the business of trying to make really pretty adults. Since they're adults for a pretty long period of their life compared to when they're babies, I find it to be more important, if I want to have a really pretty snake, to have it look pretty for 20 years as opposed to 1 year or less. So, all right. We got one more baby we're going to show here, and I'll show a couple sub-adults. This one hasn't gone through a shed yet, so you will see that he is a little bit shinier. He hasn't shed his first layer off. But this is your little banana pied. It's our first one. We're really excited about him. We did hatch a couple of them, and we have 2 more clutches that will hatch potential banana pieds this year. He is really cool. He also has a really cool, display of pattern in terms of kind of a high white, but not totally high white. So he's really striking, and we like him a lot. going to bring out a little bit bigger pied here. Let me see, where is she? She weighs about 800 grams. She's about a year old. And she is a yellow belly or a gravel pied. We're not sure which one yet. She was bred by a highway het pied. So we're not sure which gene she carries. But as you can see, as the pieds gain size and age, you can see how much bigger she is compared to my hand. How much she holds her color, she holds her, obviously her whites stay white and her pattern stays pretty highly contrasted. So this is one of the reasons we work with pieds. They're beautiful animals, they hold it through their adulthood. This is a lower white animal, but with some of these genes like yellow belly or gravel, they add colors that actually make the extra pattern really beautiful. So some animals look great with a high white and some of them look really good with the low white. She's ready to run. Do one more. We will this time grab one of my favorite and probably not that common leucistic complex animal. This snake here is nicknamed Invisible, and she is a mystic and a Russo combination. Now let me try to get her to stay still for you. She's one of those rare combinations that holds a purple color through her subadult and adult life. Most purples fade into browns or they fade into a gray, kind of a muted color, and she's ready to run. But this really holds it well. It's a very faint pattern. She's not a white snake. Purples and very faint yellows. Her head has been turning a little grayer, as you can see through adulthood, but let me see if I can turn her for you. What I'm doing in my hand when I cover their head up, it really causes them to pull back and just kind of sit still. It's a way of calming down an aggressive ball python, and these aren't aggressive, but in this case it would be calming down an active ball python, just getting them to kind of sit still. So you'll see a lot of ball python breeders, if you watch their videos, cover their heads. Not slam their heads, but cover them. So she's really awesome. So these last two snakes will be future breeders for us, and we really enjoy working with these types of animals. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. We shot this video at night, so we didn't have the natural light in here that we did the first time. So when displaying these snakes, we tried to use a red blanket. So if that was good, let me know. If it wasn't the best, I'll find something better for next week to make sure that we display these animals as best we can for you guys. So thanks so much for watching, and also comment below if you have any requests for videos or different mutations that you'd like to see that we may have that we can show you, and we'll build it from there. So thanks again for watching. See you next week.